Alright, we are 2 for 2, just knocked out of the park, smash hit successes. Where will our winning streak take us next? I both do and do not want you to answer that.
Well, I mean, the world map is going to answer at least one of those questions.
We are, of course, doing the follow-up game thing where we're going to all the places, so, all of these have got to come up at some point. It's like, how are they going to link this one in? And that's what the tension hangs on in a prequel.
I'm still excited to see how the fuck we end up in Mira. That seems like that's gonna be great.
Wonder what kind of catastrophe we're gonna cause there. I mean, I say cause, we're not, to be like something resembling fair, we're not causing all this, we're just like failing utterly to stop any of it.
What does that say about Sadal Sood? There's nothing here.
That's okay. I like the peace and quiet. It reminds me of Hasale.
Doing a great job hyping it up, guys.
I thought Sadal Sood wasn't part of the Empire.
It's not. Why?
I'm spying an awful lot of Imperial soldiers.
Hey, you're right. But now that you mention it, didn't Geldablame say as much? He told us Baelheit already deployed soldiers to Sadal Sood.
He's always one step ahead.
Isn't Quaestor Varys the head of the military? Wasn't that, like, his whole deal?
Look, am I gonna have to tell you again about the difference between the details and the
The whole
vibes?
reason we're here is to meet with this Rodolfo person.
Well, let's go find
Baelheit has the Dark Brotherhood, and, we'll see them, or the Dark Service, whatever the fuck they're called, the assassin people.
The standard evil soldiers.
Yeah, we'll see them around, but, like, those were just actual, real-ass, regular Empire military people? Like, I was under you would think that, like, Varys could be like, yo, why the fuck are my people here?
I think we're just gonna file this one firmly into the whole box labeled. The writers haven't really done the deep world building. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna throw terms around. We're not gonna construct a fictional government with like departments and chains of command. And there's a bird flying backwards. Also, what is going on down here?
Well, we gotta make sure that we do our civic duty and keep an eye out for Guillo the Masked Maneater.
Also, our market research tells us that people found that one scene at the start of Tales of Symphonia really funny.
I mean, it's not even the last time that Monolith is gonna do this bit. They're very proud of it, because it comes up again towards the beginning of Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
I mean, now that they've done it here, it's officially a pattern. This is officially the point at which it becomes a thing that they do, rather than a thing that they did. This is the point. This is the turning point. This is where it all went wrong. And of course it's a card. Sure.
Well, you see, we took the poster down and we stuffed it in the card, because, I mean,
there's this place I need to stop by while
let's
I'm
be
here.
realistic. You don't want to walk around with a poster like that. That's just asking for
right now?
attention.
I mean, this once again causes me to have to think about, like, what...
Sorry.
So, like, Magnus are containers of fundamental essences of things, but, like, Do they have art on them? Do you draw on these things? Are there like illustrators? Does each one have an illustration credit? Can you draw on a thing and turn it into a concept of something if you're good enough at drawing? Is this like the art in Myst? Like that, by the way, that series is what happens when you have people like actually think through the details of how this world works and what the stupid power is and what the bounds on it are. You get stuff like that. That was a game about paper that contained concepts. Like, are we choosing dialogue for Sagi here, or are we, like, whispering dialogue into his brain and he's just going along with it?
I mean, I think we're doing the latter, but it really doesn't matter. This is a very one-sided conversation. It's okay, though. It's okay. I'm sure there's a big payoff coming right around the corner here, Sagi. Let's stick around a little bit longer.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I have to know where this goes. You know, I was literally thinking that, listening to this story. I can't believe this guy is in my head.
Anyway, at that point the conversation loops, so we are going to get out of it. But I like this gag. It's really dumb. And I hate it because it took like 5 minutes, but it's a good gag.
This is the kind of thing you do with incidental dialogue in JRPGs. This is what you're supposed to do. You take the mechanics and you use them to make people feel things. That's it, that's all you do. And sometimes the thing that you feel is actual deep emotions, and sometimes the thing that you feel is just lol. They got me. You take the little bits of mechanic that the genre offers you, and you find a way to write stuff with them. That's it. That's all any of this is. It's the whole genre canvas thing again. I'm not going to repeat all of that, but I totally could.
That's right. Now see, there is a man who refuses to let you store his flowers as essence. Only natural flowers allowed.
Oh, they didn't even have a whole thing for that?
Oh, they do. They do. But Guillo very specifically said to leave it right where it was until Millie comes back.
That's reasonable. I agree entirely.
Back. Sorry, Sagi.
Anyway, where's ours?
Are you all set?
Like, we know
Yeah.
that we have one.
No.
It's on the next screen up. We'll get there. You'll never believe... Go ahead, make your guess now. What do you think Sagi is accused of?
I mean, there was that whole thing about us being accused of a thing that one time. I don't credit these guys with a lot of originality. I'm pretty sure we're just spinning this one up again.
No. Remember,
Or have we done entirely new crimes?
Right, see, we got cleared of that one, so they have to make up something new.
We're going around involving ourselves in local politics. We're probably, like... we probably caused all the stuff. We probably killed all the guys and died them. We probably blew everything else up. I don't even care.
I mean, I'm just saying that the bar is currently set at Millie the Kleptomaiden.
Somebody is very pleased with themselves for rhyming eyeliner and skyliner. I mean, that's good. That's some quality propaganda work.
Is it, you know it's a good poster when she's actively yelling at the player that they need to discard it immediately.
I mean, that's the kind of vibe that they should be, like, leaning on. Like, that's the kind of thing that a plot and a setting like this, like, that entire dynamic is implicit. It gives a reason for people to be able to yell at the player. Like, they're yelling at the guardian spirit, and in doing so they're talking to the player. But if you can establish that shortcut, you can just talk to the player as much as you want. And technically, when you're designing a game, all you're doing is talking to the player. You know, that's the whole thing. But it adds a certain spice when you can also just literally talk to the player. It's just pure video games. Sagi the moron. Wait, what? Like, what do you even say to this?
We agree with them, obviously.
Anyway, this is, of course, a complete failure not to have a reactive system where you are just given the opportunity to do one or more just morally ambiguous things, and have the game then proceed to spectacularly call you out for them. Like, they already wasted the thief thing on Millie, which is a problem because, you know, that's the JRPG protagonist thing. Like, it would have been a pretty solid, cheap chuckle to be like, hey, this guy just walks into everyone's houses and just takes all their stuff. That's a thing. It's cheap and obvious, but, like, people would go along with it, probably. They'd be like, yeah, just shine a light on that good old ludonarrative dissonance. Very much was the style at the time as well.
Oh, this would have been right around that time, wouldn't it? Oh.
But, like, they've lifted a couple beats from other games that were popular at the time, so why not, while you're at it, just lift from Chrono Trigger? Like, hey, do things, get called out for them. Just, you know, paint the details.
Sir? Just vibrating directly past that woman.
Is there another one?
There are. There's at least two more. There's another one that's in the where the well was. I guess you might be able to go around the well to get to it, but I did not get it. And then this one is just in broad daylight.
Man, I was being only 80% serious when I said at literally the first one of these that this was the point at which they decided that, like, this is now a thing that we do. But I guess they really went all in on it. They were writing this game, and they were like, you know what, fuck it. Stupid wanted poster gags are now a thing that we do. And to demonstrate our commitment to the bit, we're gonna put fucking 6 of them in one town for a party of 3.
You're gonna like this one.
I mean, anything that we can philosophically pin down. How high is your conceptualization skill?
So, we're not going to do this, because it turns out you can do this, and if you do so, you will get a permanent fatigue Magnus. You cannot discard it, and it goes away on its own after a lot of walking. And as long as you have it in one of your quest Magnus, it permanently reduces your max HP.
Yep. You have been cursed. This card cannot be removed from your deck. But hey, at least I got the artifact that gives me +1 strength for every curse.
But yeah, if we absorb his fatigue 3 times, he'll give us a Sedna Magnus and like some other bonus.
Doesn't sound worth it.
It's not. It reduces it because right now we have about like Sagi has about like 1,000 HP, give or take, and if we take all 3, he'll go down all the way down to like 800.
He can't take a hint.
Well, at least we know now. This is the way to Rodolfo's estate. What should we do? Crash the front gates, or find another way in?
I mean, what again is this thinking? Like,
yeah.
this is starting to become a habit.
There must be quite a few soldiers
Now,
inside.
see, if we were cool like Wiseman, we could just literally fly to the top of it and we could skip all of this.
Huh?
Just throwing that out there.
So, like, is this basically an elevator or stairs choice, or like, are we actually deciding anything of any consequence
Here we
here?
are guarding a lordless mansion. Talk about bottom of the barrel.
No, it turns out that Rodolfo's not even here.
He did this to me. If I was just a little stronger.
Quit your bellyache, Giacomo. You'll get another chance.
Yeah, conceptually you're entitled to at least 3 boss battles per game.
Hear that? It sounds like Rodolfo's out.
Sebelrai, huh?
I remember learning that it's just a tiny hamlet. What business could he have there?
I don't know. But we may as well go find out.
Come on, Sagi, it's like you weren't even paying attention to the guy who rambled for like 5 minutes about all kinds of weird bullshit. They've got apples.
I mean, yeah, it really was not paying attention to the guy who rambled about bullshit.
Like, he even made a bad pun about it.
I mean, is that even a pun? I don't think that rises to the level of a pun. I think that's just like generic uncategorized wordplay. Kind of in the catch-all department. I guess at a stretch you could say it was a malapropism. But also there's just an entire genre of joke where, like, what if you take the figure of speech and you interpret it literally?
Oh, Granny, she's here to tell us all about the next dungeon.
I mean, that sounds moderately tedious, but, like, that's an upward trajectory. Then again, there's nothing like a JRPG for being able to take a concept that sounds on paper moderately tedious and turn it into torture, so maybe I'll refrain from getting ahead of myself.
Now, notably, we are not putting the Holy Leaf in a Magnus. That would be silly.
What a concept. Well, I can't wait to find out how much I'm going to regret saying that this only sounds moderately tedious.